Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our second Members Masterclass, How to Cruise Like a Pro 2.0. For those of you who missed the first one, the video of the webinar is located on your members site under Resources and Webinars. My name is Chana Patel, and I am the Vendor Relations Representative at Member Getaways. And today we have Melina Jones with us, who is our Senior Concierge Specialist, who will be continuing the education on how to cruise like a pro. Please be sure to enter your questions in the questions box as Melina is presenting, and we will answer them at the end of the presentation. Thank you very much for taking time out of your day to join us today. Hi, Melina.
Hey. Hey guys, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining me again for our second session of the Members Masterclass. My name is Melina. I did host the first class, but in case you are joining us for the first time, I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself. I am one of your friendly travel agents. I have been in the travel industry for over 10 years. I've had the pleasure of traveling all over the world and helping my clients do the same. I am a cross-trained agent, so I can help you book all types of travel, but cruising is my absolute favorite. Today, I'm going to continue sharing with you some tips to get you cruising like a pro. A couple of things we are going to talk about today are booking the right cabin for your needs, special needs at sea, and surprise extras that you might not think to budget for when planning a cruise vacation. And then at the end, I'm going to share with you some exclusive member deals that you don't want to miss. So my first tip is to make sure you're booking the right cabin type for your needs. But what does this even mean? Have you ever found yourself looking at cruises and becoming absolutely confused by all of the cabin options? Here are some examples of different cabin types that you may see or hear while booking. Interior, ocean view, veranda, balcony, suite, mini suite, guarantees, obstructed views, aft, midship, forward, port side, or starboard. Whoa, that's a lot. So basically, an interior cabin is on the inside of the ship. It has no windows or outside access. It is usually going to be your cheapest cabin option. Ocean view cabins have either a porthole window or a picture window, which is a larger square window, which allows you a view of the ocean. It allows for natural light, but it does not allow outside access. A veranda and balcony are considered the same thing. These cabins have a sliding glass door and a small balcony with usually 2 chairs and a table. They allow you to have natural light in the cabin as well as outdoor space. Suites on cruise ships are larger than a standard cabin. Usually they come with a balcony, and they're sometimes larger than a standard balcony. They may have additional perks depending on the level of the suite and the cruise line that you booked. If you see the term obstructed view, this means that there is something blocking either partially or fully the ocean view or the balcony. If you hear the term aft, that just means in the rear of the ship. Forward, of course, is going to be in the front of the ship, and midship is going to be right in the middle. Port side is the left side of the ship, and starboard is on the right side. So on the screen here, you see some examples of cabin types. In the first picture up here, this is the balcony cabin. As you can see, it does have the door out to a nice balcony, so you have outdoor space. With the obstructed view right here, if you look out, you see there is some type of obstruction that is blocking your view. The interior cabin is right here. You can see there are no windows or natural light. These are usually smaller cabins. And then above here is just an aft suite. This is on the back of the boat and has a wraparound balcony. All suites are different, and there's many different categories of suites. So we can go over with you what your particular suite will have. You may also see something that says guarantee. What does guarantee mean? If you see something that says guarantees or guarantee only, that means the cruise line is going to assign the cabin to you. You do not have a choice in the cabin location, and location cannot be changed once assigned. Also, if you are booking an ocean view or balcony guarantee, there is a possibility that you could be assigned a cabin with an obstruction. This category is usually cheaper than your assigned cabins. If you want an assigned cabin and you want to know where you're going to be, then you're going to want to pick the cabin number and location on the ship. So some of my tips for choosing the right cabins are, if you get seasick easily, you want to choose a cabin that is midship, lower to the sea level. If you benefit from having fresh air or being able to see the horizon to calm yourself, then a balcony cabin is going to be your best choice. Are you sensitive to noise or awoken easily? Then you want to choose a cabin away from public entertainment, the dining room, and any elevators or stairs. Do you get claustrophobic? Choose a cabin with either an ocean view or a balcony and avoid the interior cabins. If you are booking on your own on the member website, then you may see deck plans, which I have a couple here. This is the Carnival Horizon, and as you can see, from deck 1 all the way to deck 13, there's a breakdown of everything that is located on that deck. On any given deck, there may be a range of cabins. The cheaper cabins in each category are going to be aft or forward and will slightly increase in price as you get to midship. Cabins that are on higher decks are also usually a higher cost. So just looking at this particular level here, cabins that are in the back and cabins that are in the front are going to be cheaper, and as they get closer to the middle, all of these cabins are going to be a little bit more expensive. On these deck plans, they also have an accommodations legend. You can see that up here. And this is so you can see what each individual cabin has. You can see things like bedding type, how many people it accommodates, obstructions if there are any, accessibility options, and you can even find connecting staterooms. So on this map, up here you see a connecting stateroom has this little white triangle. So going down to our deck plan here, you can see that these two interior cabins, 228 and 2232, would be connecting cabins. And that just means that these two cabins have a door in between them. So if you have a large family or you want to get two separate cabins and have some separation from your children, then booking a connecting stateroom is going to be your best option. Fun tip for the website. Once you make your selections on the left, so you've put in your destination, your sailing month, and maybe you put your cruise line that you want to go on here, and you've hit search, a whole list of options is going to come up. At the top, there's this little button that says Sort By, and from there, you can click on this and list the sailings by different cabin types from least expensive to most expensive. This is how I find the cheapest prices quickly and easily. You don't have to click on and search through every one of the options and compare prices. The website will narrow it down for you. My next tip is to discuss any special needs you may have at the time of booking. Too often we see our members who need accessible accommodations but select a regular cabin hoping to change it later. We did have an issue recently who we had an immobile guest who did not book an accessible cabin, and they actually had their cabin canceled because the cruise line would not let them sail with the standard cabin. So if you are needing any type of accessible cabin, it needs to be discussed at the time of booking and assigned at the time of booking. I recommend booking early for these cabin types as they tend to book up quickly and be hard to find last minute. I also recommend giving us a call if you're needing accessible accommodations, because we have access to more inventory than you would just see on the member's website. Are you bringing any medical equipment on board? We need to make sure the cruise line can accommodate those items. Most cruise lines will have you fill out a special requirements form listing what you need to bring with you. And don't think I forgot the kiddos. If you have a child with special needs, whether it's a mental or physical disability, there are so many inclusive options available now for sailing. My son does have special needs, and we really like Royal Caribbean ships. They have a lot of autism-friendly ships in their fleet right now. Please let your travel agent know at the time of booking, and we can help you find something to fit your family's needs. So right here is the special requirements form from Carnival. And you can see that it will have you list down any medical equipment and supplies that you may need, anything that you're going to be bringing with you, such as a wheelchair. And it asks you for the dimensions of the wheelchair to make sure it's going to be fitting into the cabin. If you're going to need any oxygen or tanks, and then of course if you're renting anything. And this does need to be filled out if we do send this to you and sent back to the cruise line in a timely manner. My final tip for today is to make sure to budget for extras. Cruises do have extras that guests sometimes forget to account for. Besides the cruise fare and taxes, there are other costs that you need to budget for, such as gratuities, drink packages, shore excursions, and souvenirs. Prepaid gratuities are required by all cruise lines, and it goes to pay service for the workers that are on board, such as your cabin steward, the waiters in the dining room, the cleaning crews, bartenders, and those other people that help make your cruise experience better. So, for Carnival, the prepaid gratuities start at $13.99 per person per day. I also checked Royal Caribbean, and they're currently starting at $14.50 per person per day. Norwegian is about at $14.99 per person per day, and Celebrity is about $14.50 per person per day. And of course, this will vary from cruise line to cruise line, and it also depends on your category of room. Suite categories will always have higher gratuities than your standard cabin. Now you can, in some instances, remove gratuities from your room, but I highly discourage it. There are a lot of cruise lines that have made it mandatory. That's not something that you are wanting to do, so do make sure that you put that in the budget. The next thing is drink packages, and these vary widely from cruise line to cruise line. A lot of people don't know that alcohol and soda is not included in a cruise fare. In a cruise fare, you get basic beverages, so that's going to be like coffee, water, tea, and some basic juices like lemonade. If you're planning to drink any alcohol or soda while traveling, you're going to want to get the unlimited beverage package. And these do vary widely across the fleet, but I did grab some prices. For Carnival, their unlimited beverage package starts at $56.95 per person per day. Royal Caribbean starts at $56 per person per day. Norwegian starts at $99 per person per day, if not included with their free at sea offers. Celebrity starts at $69 per person per day. And all of these will have an auto gratuity of 18 to 20%. They do have other options for beverage packages as well, like soda packages and water packages. And if you do get the unlimited beverage package, all of the adults in the stateroom would be required to have it. And shore excursions. You definitely want to make sure you save money in your budget for shore excursions. I will go more in depth in a later class about these, but shore excursions, they're really like the cherry on top of the sundae. They really bring your cruise experience to a whole nother level. Pricing does vary a lot from shore excursions, from cheap to extravagant, but I think they're always worth it in my opinion. We do offer discounted shore excursions through the same vendors the cruise lines use from Shore Excursion Group. Please ask your travel agent the next time you call to send you a link so you can see all of the exciting options to choose from. When you're ready to book, give us a call and we can apply your 10% discount off any excursion from this link. Also, don't forget your credit cards. Many ships are going to a cashless environment, so you will need a card to place on file during the online check-in process or the regular check-in process once you arrive at the port. You will receive a SeaPass when you check in, which is not only your room key, but allows you to make charges all over the ship. You will not need to pull out your credit card again unless you are getting off in port. Do make sure to save a little miscellaneous money in your budget as well for souvenirs and other items that you may have forgotten to pack. Can you guess what a big item is that a lot of people forget to pack? Sunscreen. On our last cruise, on Royal Caribbean, sunscreen was $25 a bottle in the ship shop, and they were sold out by day 2. So definitely don't forget your sunscreen. And now the moment you've all been waiting for, our cruise deals. This first one is a 5-night on the Carnival Dream. It starts at $341 per person. It's a Western Caribbean itinerary from Galveston. And this is balcony stateroom pricing. It goes to Cozumel and Yucatan Peninsula. It is promo ID 41146. So if you're interested in that, write that down and give us a call. We also have a 7-night on the Carnival Fascination from $543 per person for a balcony stateroom. This is an amazing price because of the itinerary. It's a very sought after itinerary. You're going to go to St. Thomas, St. Martin, St. Kitts, St. Lucia, and Barbados. It's a round trip from San Juan. This pricing, $543, is for a balcony stateroom based on 2 people with taxes not included. It's promo ID 47147. And if you're going to book this, please ask us about special pricing on pre and post hotel stays, and we can also help with your airfare. And finally, I have a 7-night on the Carnival Breeze, goes out of Port Canaveral. This is a wonderful ship, as you can see, just the main deck, everything it has to offer. It does have this huge water park here, a nice pool area, the ropes course, lots of amenities on this sailing. It's on October 5th in a balcony stateroom. It's going to go to Amber Cove, St. Thomas, San Juan, and Grand Turk. Of course, it's based on an occupancy of 2, 3rd and 4th guests at a reduced fare, and taxes are not included in this price. Your promo ID on this is 47145. This one will go fast, I'm sure, so please give us a call. And then, of course, you want to make sure you have all of our contact info saved. Our phone number, of course, 888-494-0931. And, of course, our hours are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and Saturdays from 10 to 4 Eastern Time. Be sure to check your member website for current specials and that you've opted in for all of our promotional emails. And now I'll open it up. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them for you.
If you guys have any questions, add them to the questions box. Thank you, Melina.
Thank you.
Our first question is, my husband is disabled and walks with a cane. For museum and such, uses a wheelchair and should actually use more. How do we find the proper cruise for someone who is disabled and cannot climb stairs?
Well, all of the cruise lines do have elevators, so if you're immobile or have difficulty walking, you still can cruise because we can help you find a stateroom close to elevators. You can have that wheelchair on board, or you can rent a scooter or wheelchair from a range of companies that offer that. So just because you are disabled or immobile doesn't mean you can't cruise.
So if one person in cabin does not drink alcohol and never has, they still must pay?
Yes, if you are an adult age 21 or older, then you are required to purchase the alcohol package for everybody in that cabin that's 21 or older.
Are these deals available for Canadians? We live in Toronto.
Yes, our member deals are available for all of our members, regardless of where you live.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, here we go. Princess Cruises will allow you to split the drink packages currently still.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I guess it's more of a comment. They said Princess Cruises will allow you to split the drink packages currently.
I'd have to double check on that for you. I'm unsure. From the last time I checked, most cruise lines were requiring all adults in the same stateroom to have the alcohol package. But again, I can definitely check on it.
What does run of ship mean?
I'm sorry, did you say run of ship?
Yes.
Run of ship, basically it's like a guarantee cabin. If you're seeing something that says run of ship, though we usually don't use that verbiage, that just means you could be assigned any cabin within that category.
Any other questions? Can you purchase alcohol on a drink-by-drink basis?
Yeah, of course. You can always purchase alcohol on a drink-by-drink basis while you're cruising. It does get more expensive that way, as most beverages alcoholic on a ship are going to be anywhere from $8 to $15 per drink. So if you're going to drink at least 5 drinks a day, we do recommend purchasing the unlimited beverage package, because not only do you get those alcoholic beverages, you also have unlimited soda, unlimited bottled water, things like that you don't have to pay for as well.
If someone wants to see the screen before when we're showing the deal, things are different per month.
Sure, let me go back to the. All right, so this was the first one. This was the 5 nights on the Carnival Dream. Okay, this is the 7 nights on the Carnival Fascination. Okay, and this is the 7 nights on the Carnival Breeze. And I'll just go ahead and leave this last slide up.
Someone is saying you don't have to pay for a drink package and are allowed 2 bottles to bring per cabin.
Some cruises, well, kind of. Some cruises do allow you to bring wine on board. It's usually 1 per adult in the stateroom, and then they charge you a corkage fee, which can be anywhere from $30 to $40 per bottle. So, I mean, it is up to you, and if you're looking at going on a particular ship or sailing, we can let you know what those fees would be.
Are there soda-only drink packages?
Yeah, there are soda-only drink packages. They're significantly less expensive than the alcoholic beverage packages. They usually start at anywhere from $8 to $11 per day, and those are good for kids or if you don't drink.
What port do you go out of for the 7-night fascination?
The 7-night fascination, I'll go back to it, does go out of San Juan, Puerto Rico. And so for that one, you would have to fly into San Juan and then fly back out of San Juan because it is round trip San Juan. So we do recommend coming in a day before, and they've really revitalized Puerto Rico since the hurricane last year. So we recommend maybe staying a couple nights on the back end.
Are there any deals for Royal Caribbean?
We do have deals for Royal Caribbean. They are on the member website under the Getaways tab. We were just kind of focusing on Carnival for this presentation since we did the deck plans and we had all of that from Carnival, but there are always Royal Caribbean deals as well.
you bring your own alcohol bottle on ship?
No. You can't bring your own alcohol on board. If you do purchase alcohol in port, you do have to leave it when you get on board, and you can collect it at the end of your cruise.
How many of these 15-minute info sessions will you be having? Are these cruise specials only via the webinar?
We always have cruise specials on the member website, and you'll find these cruise specials also on the member website, so they're not just webinar specific. These are 3 new promotions that we just are releasing today. So being on the webinar, you have first access to them because there's not an unlimited amount of these available. There are just a few cabins available at these particular prices. So being on the webinar, you do get first access to these, but you can always find them on the member website. And we do plan to have a lot more of these webinars in the future.
And they are located under the getaway section and cruise getaways. So we have 25 up at all times. Remind us where to access previous webinars. It is under the resources tab on your member's website. And so you just go to resources and then select webinars. And this one will be located there as well. Are passports required for all trips?
I'm sorry, what was the first part of the question?
Are passports required for all trips?
Passports?
Yes.
We did go over this in the last webinar. They're not absolutely required for all cruises, but they're highly recommended. Some cruises that go out of and return to the same U.S. port do not require U.S. citizens to carry a passport, but you do have to have a valid government-issued photo ID as well as an original copy of your birth certificate, so it does need to have a raised seal. But again, passports are definitely recommended because of all the things that could happen while you're sailing. If you get stuck in another country, if you have to fly home and don't have a passport, you run into all kinds of issues. So we definitely recommend them. And if you have a question about your particular sailing, please ask one of our travel agents and we can let you know what documentation is required.
What about all of the riots in Puerto Rico? Could you go out of somewhere else?
For that particular sailing on the Carnival Fascination, that one does go out of San Juan. So if you're wanting to do that particular trip, then it would go out of San Juan. If you're wanting to do another Eastern or Southern Caribbean sailings, there are other ports that you can go out of in Florida. So please give us a call and we can go over the options for you.
Is there duty-free stores on board that sell alcohol?
On board, you can buy bottles of liquor, usually in the ship store, but all of the bars and usually in the dining room, you can get alcohol as well.
Someone said Royal Caribbean allowed 2 bottles per cabin that we carried on the ship when we entered.
Yes, for wine, you're allowed to carry 2 bottles on board with a corkage fee. But they do not want you to bring actual liquor on board that you're going to drink on board. You can buy it in port, bottled liquor, or you can buy bottled liquor on the boat in the ship store, but it's not something they allow you to bring on board.
How much do taxes actually run?
Taxes are going to vary widely depending on the ports that you're going to and how many nights the cruise is. It can be anywhere from $80 upwards to $300–400. It honestly just depends.
Someone is saying if you drink in your room, there is no cork fee.
I'd have to double check on that for you, but I believe if you're bringing wine on board, that they're going to charge you.
Okay. Webinar is not appearing under resources. Is there something else we need to do to see this webinar selection? It should be there. If Melina, can you put the page up with the phone number? If you call the phone number, then an agent can show you how to access it. What type of activities are offered on board?
Again, this is really cruise specific. They vary widely from cruise ship to cruise line. Some things that you can definitely guarantee are going to be on board. There is going to be some nightlife. There's going to be entertainment, live music, activities throughout the day, not just in the pool area, but they have different things planned throughout the ship. You do have the casinos on board, so of course that's a big thing that most people like to do when they travel. They do have parties in the evening, different theme nights. Of course, from ship to ship, depending on what amenities it has, you could have water slides, laser tag, flow riders. I mean, the possibilities are endless. It just so happens of maybe what you're interested in, and we can help you find a cruise for that.
Okay. Any other questions? Is smoking allowed on board? Or what is the non-smoking policy?
Smoking is not allowed on board or in the cabins. They only have smoking in designated areas on the ship, which when you get on board, there's a deck plan and you can see where those smoking areas are. Usually one's going to be up by the pool and another is going to be down by the casino. But if you're caught smoking in any other areas, they can charge you a fee, and it's pretty hefty on most cruise lines.
Any other questions? Okay, well, thank you everyone for joining us today, and thank you for the presentation, Melina. It was great. Again, our contact information is up on the screen, so please feel free to call a concierge specialist, and they'll be able to assist you with either the promotions or booking a cruise or any questions that you may have. Have a wonderful evening.